How you doing, everybody? It feels like it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. This one is definitely going to be a long one, as you can see on the top of the screen with the many tabs that are open. So first off, I want to say happy belated Mother's Day to any mothers out there. If you're watching this, then you must be a super awesome mom because you're going to teach them the ways of anime and trading card games. Or you're just family. And I say again, happy Mother's Day. Thanks for watching. What we got going on here is this is a video that I'm going to talk about the monthly TCG player survey. I will also be going over many things. So first up, we want to start out with the laugh emoji because laugh emojis always a great way to start out, and this will be attached to the erratas. So erratas again are errors on cards, and what we got is our band life Yukina. So this one's not so bad. It's a 2-1. The power level was the issue. 4,500 drops down to 2,500. I think when these cards came out, when people saw them, they ignored this one and they saw this one because this one was a huge problem. Our band life Aya, the reason why this is a problem was because it was showing up as a cost 0. Level 1 cost 0, potential to have 7,500 power until the end of the turn. I mean, it probably would be 7,500. The correct version says it's going to cost you 1 to actually play this, and you will be 7,500 not until the end of the turn. The real problem was the cost 1. So as you can see, this is fixed. We knew this is a problem because that would make it too strong. Definitely when this came out, people saw it. That's what I said, that Yukina got ignored. This one was the issue. This was a card already printed in Japan, so we could already see that there was an issue going on, and everybody really was just waiting for this errata to come out. And now it has, so correction there. The plus side for me is Bushiroad on the road. Why I'm talking about this is because those cards were being given away, and one very nice person, Audrey, told me that these cards that you see here was actually given out to LGSs just this past month and PR packs. So I was thinking I had to go to this Bushiroad on the road for 3 days to get all these cards, take a picture with a cardboard cutout, and upload it to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I actually don't have to do that. So technically, if I want to get all these sweet items, I just need to buy the PR cards off of maybe TCG Player or somebody else. So I don't have to do that anymore. But I at least have to go one day if I want to get my own new version of the Corone and then also this stamp Shioko. So more than likely, again, I should be going for at least one day. I would love to go to all three, so we'll see how that comes out. Anime NYC has not changed their stance on offering 3-day badges. So I'm just going to be stubborn all the way through to November, probably. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we got this Fate Grand Order Camelot. This thing comes out June 17th. As a reminder, there are no signatures on this thing. We have that whole thing with what we assume is Aniplex or voice actors. So we don't really know for sure. Signatures become these stamped doohickeys, and then we have serial numbers in the top right corner. If you were so lucky to pull one of the 10, I did a buy and invest video on it, so check that out if you are looking for more information or my thoughts on whether this set should do well or not. I only bring this up just because I thought it was funny, because this is Ozymandias, and then we have this nice pyramid here, and then it says the charismatic pharaoh of the desert, and his shining temple appears in the shifting sands of Camelot. And this person wrote, "Would be a treasure if signed, too bad." So yeah, a little bit upset about. I just thought it was funny. It made me laugh when I was sitting here when this came up. So yeah, again, just a reminder. You don't remember, no signature on Fate Grand Order Camelot. All right, so here is the time. I'm just going to take a little bit break here, a couple minutes in, to just talk about TCG Player May. What this is, if you haven't seen this or heard me say this, apologies to the people that hear this every month. But what we got here is the TCG Player May. And what happens here is I am, I guess you could say, affiliated link to TCG Player. What that really means is I have a link in the description for TCG Player. Simply, if you click it and make a purchase of anything on the website, I get a percentage back to me. What I do with literally every dollar is I give it back to you because I don't really care. As in to get the money that it comes from TCG Player. I really only ever signed up for that link because I talk about TCG Player all the time, and I think it'd be fun to do a giveaway. So last month was, or 2 months ago, because it takes some time for them to give me said money month after month, just to make sure people don't refund, is you spent a lot of money, you all spent a lot of money, so giveaways this month. For this specific survey, there will be three winners, $15. Again, to participate in this survey, you need to be United States residents. And the reason, again, is because it's TCG Player. Those people would be the ones that could use this gift card. So what you have to do is you have to provide your YouTube username, your favorite number, because I use this number to confirm who you are. Like I literally ask you, give me your favorite number and your YouTube username, because this number could be anything. It could be millions, it could be one, it could be anything, but it's something that you come up with. This is like your authentication code. So give me that number. If not, I'm gonna make you say something goofy on one of my old videos just to confirm that's actually you. As you can see here, you have to give your country, and one last step in this. In this video, please make a comment and write yes or no if you have a local store or LGS, whichever you want to call it. Do not put the name of the store, just write yes or no. That way nobody knows really what you're talking about. But I also don't want you to write your LGS because I don't want to. You can if you want to, but by doing so, just keep in mind someone can figure out where you live if you care about that. So if you want to protect your own privacy, just write yes or no. If you feel like writing your LGS, feel free. And lastly, any comments. Again, you do not have to fill out the any comments thing. We have the same people, some of the same people write every month. And again, feel free to write anything that comes up on your mind, funny stories, whatever you want to do. But if you don't have anything, don't feel like you have to fill that out, okay? And again, thank you for the people that actually click on my TCG Player link and buy something, because again, without you, I couldn't do these giveaways. So again, like I said, I give it back, everything that I got from TCG Player back to you, because I think it's more fun that way. It's fun for me. It breaks up just talking about TCG Player and stuff all the time. So next thing we got Bushiroad Global Online Store. So keep in mind, Bushiroad Global Online Store right now has a celebration, first anniversary campaign celebration. And in this, what is going to happen is if you buy $35 of a specific title, so Bang Dream, D4 DJ, Review Starlight, Cardfight Vanguard, and Argonavis. I definitely never watched that or looked it up. So if I pronounced that wrong, sorry. Spend $35, you have a shot to win an autograph from the series. And what's going to happen then is you will be getting a Google form. It'll be sent out tomorrow, May 10th, to be entered in the raffle for that autograph. And that will be of that specific series that you buy from. So, right, if you buy from Bang Dream, you will get entered for the Bang Dream one. So, again, if any of these are not as popular, if you don't think many people buy, like, I'm not trying to be insulting, but let's just say Cardfight Vanguard Overdress, then maybe you have a better shot, because we don't know how many autographs there will be given out for this. Also, so that's for $35, but also if you spend more than $15, which if you're attempting to go for this raffle, then surely you will, because you just have to spend 15, you will get one can badge. So that's pretty nice as well. I would imagine, again, that it should follow the series that you are buying from. Hopefully. But anyways, here are the can badges showing on the screen right now. I'm looking for that dude from Argonavis. Is he on here? I don't know. Anyways, okay, so the other thing with the global online store that came out on Facebook was a restock of the voice actor card collection. So that would be the supply set and an introduction for the supply set of Volume 2. So Ida Rose, I purchased this before. I did a video on the voice actor card collection, so if you haven't seen this, if you want to see me like actually show off the playmat and stuff, but if not, here it is. It's pretty expensive. Again, I think I said this in the original video. I was like, I can't believe this is $120. I don't know if that's really what I bought it for. I had to go back, but I remember it was really expensive. So what you get is a deck box. You get sleeves. Let me zoom back out. So you get some sleeves and you get a play mat. So really, really nice. As you can see, $120 to purchase that. So that will definitely qualify for the Bang Dream giveaway for the autograph. Because if you take a look here, if I click on Bang Dream, and I click Rosalia, that's what comes up. These two things come up under Rosalia, so you're good. You're solid if you buy from there. The new supply set for Volume 2 Voice Actor Card Collection has the ladies here again. So sleeves, deck box, and our lady playmat. So it's actually pretty nice because you can see it's like a reverse. The deck box is black and overly black and then white. And this one is white and then black. So pretty nice. And it looks like it's sparkly. Or at least maybe that's just what the picture shows, but that'd be cool if it was sparkly. And this time around, they actually look, I'm not saying they didn't look happy, but this one they look happier, where the other one looks like they're a little bit sassy. Like you can take a look at Yuki right there. She's got her hand up, she got her arm up, hand out. So, and you can see Aina there. She definitely looks sassy. So, and Akko. Not Aku, Megu. Jeez, I definitely have a hard time like using their anime names and real names. I just go in between one after the other. Even in that video, I was saying like Sayo a lot. I was saying Sayo a lot. So, but I have attached them. They're good, cool. So check it out. There also is a restock of. Let me just go to the voice actor card collection. So these were actually gone, this voice actor card collection binder and cards. So they have brought them back. If you wanted to buy them, feel free. But yeah, they actually did end a little while ago. So it's nice that they actually put them back. So if you're looking for Ida Rose cards, Ida Rose binder, they are back. If you are looking for the supply set, main thing to note is May 19th is what you got on the first supply set and the second supply. So get out there, and at the last, you really wanted to shop for those autographs, you need to do that sooner than later, which is tonight. So go ahead and do that. So now we are finally on the TCG player part. And what we got going on here is I just wanted to start out with the Bushiroad Spring Fest. The Spring Fest happened, and one of those things that came out of this is PRs are really expensive, especially ones with girls on it, as in this one, Mami, Sumi, Chizuru, Ruka. And if you're wondering if you should play in Springfest, so to get that card, you just need to play. You need a team of 3, and you can see right here all participants. Each player will receive 1 copy of this for participating. So all of these right there for participating. And what is this thing worth? Well, on TCG Player, if you didn't see me pull it up before, this thing sold out for $32. I mean, there's not been a huge amount of them. As you can see here, there's 4 that were sale in the 30s, and they're all gone now. So it's one of those ones where I think people definitely will pay for. At the very least, that's what it looks like. So $30. So is it worth your time to show up and play? Well, if you like the chance of meeting people, playing Weiss Schwarz, and selling any promo cards, then yeah, I guess it is worth it. At the very minimum, it's worth $30. And if you take a look at this, there's also this Newbie Rudius card that hasn't sold on TCG Player, at the very least, not on TCG Player, but I would imagine it would have a decent price. So again, to show up with a team, play, you get these cards, maybe meet some people, have a good time. It could be worth your time if you want to do that. So, location-wise, what's left? Take a look at its schedule. I know a few just popped off over the weekend, so we got a few left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 left when you think about North America in general. Europe, we got a few here as well. Hungary, Spain, and UK. And Asia. Oh, wow. Vietnam. I didn't realize, I think that was one that was recently added, actually. And Asia got a whole freaking lot of them, right? Did this not happen yet? Did none of these happen yet? I didn't realize that none of these actually happened. Holy crap, that goes all the way to July. But anyways, when you're thinking about America, when you're thinking about North America, Latin America, we've only been through 3. Does that sound right? I'm not really thinking about this. So, at the very least, you got 4 left. New Jersey, Puerto Rico, Houston, Texas, and Mexico. What's spinning in my mind right now, if you're wondering what I'm thinking about, is I remember when these first came out and people were like, "Oh, these things are gonna drop because everybody gets it." But what you're finding out is there's not a lot. There's people that have them and maybe they don't care about Rent a Girlfriend. They're gonna sell it, but there's not that many that you see floating around. Not everybody's again sells on TCG Player. They sell on Facebook, but I feel like the ones I've seen all got bought unless they're up for like some crazy price, which means this is going to be a little bit harder to get than normal unless you imagine people are just holding out for more and more money. Maybe they're going to wait for 6 months and hope this thing hits 100. Who freaking knows? But yeah, it's pretty expensive. All these things are pretty expensive. Well, as we're talking about promo cards, let's go on to Hololive. So Hololive PR packs. This is a lot of discussion in the past week about me talking about PR cards. Thankfully, it looks like it's all solved. Maybe it's been a little too late to get some of these Hololive cards, unfortunately, because some stores decided to open it and sell it, or some stores really had no clue how to actually send this out. So Hololive PR packs, again, if you are buying trial decks, if you buy 3 trial decks or you buy a booster box of Hololive, you should be getting 1 PR pack. Inside a PR pack, you should get 2 cards, 1 normal and 1 parallel foil card, featuring these lovely ladies right here. Okay, so the main point of this is actually on TCG Player now. So people were selling it on Facebook, people were selling it on eBay, Mercari. Now it's on TCG Player, so it actually can be findable. Kiara hasn't shown up yet. I do believe Gargura has actually shown up for $50, which is way too high from the ones I've seen so far, right? Some people are selling this for 20, some people selling it for 30. So on eBay, you could find Kiara for 15. So you need to really, really look at other places because obviously this $50 one seems a bit high. And again, hopefully going forward, people take a look at the actual page. This is what you need to really do if you haven't seen those videos that I was talking about when to receive PR packs. You go back here to this product page and look at this Tournament Assist PR Pack campaign. This place will show you when you're supposed to get these packs and not supposed to get, well, really when you're supposed to get them. And most of the time it has to be like you need to buy a booster box. Some with trial decks say you have to buy trial decks, but overall, that's what you need to do. You need to go and actually buy booster boxes or multiple trial decks to actually get it. So do not let that LGS that you are purchasing from, well, for 2 things to note. You need to make sure that LGS actually is a tournament store. If they are not a tournament store, they are not eligible to actually get any of this. And then if you confirm they're a tournament store, then you need to make sure about how you get these PR packs. Do not let them get away with like selling it or telling you a different story. Some may not have gotten it in time, which then you need to go back to and make sure you get your PR pack. But in the end, Weiss Schwarz on Twitter said, if you find any store that actually have the PR packs, these things aren't meant for sale. They shouldn't be opening it. They shouldn't be selling you packs of this. You need just to buy whatever product quantity, and you should be getting it. If not, you can actually report them to Weiss Schwarz. Just check out Twitter. I didn't bring up Twitter, but if you go out on the Weiss Schwarz Twitter, you will see that they actually do say, please report any stores that are breaking this so that they can take a look into it. Maybe remove them from the program. It didn't say they'll remove them from the program, but I would obviously think that that would be the direction they would go in if they find you in violation of this. So at the very least, we have somebody that's willing, or at least putting out there that they're going to look into it. Okay. Next thing we have are these trial decks. I will say, I've done a lot of buying from different stores over Hololive. This is part of my mystery shopper program that I've been doing, and I definitely I bought product from 3 different stores, and that could be online sellers, like places that actually have physical locations. I ballooned up to 6 at this point because it definitely has been mixed. The one was great. The other two actually messed up my order where I got some of it or they sent me the wrong stuff. So then I bought from once I started realizing this was going to happen, I bought from a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth place to make sure that I got everything in the amount that I actually wanted to. And I do have my trial decks here. I do have a few trial decks anyways. I still haven't gotten all my stuff, so these are pretty nice. I will say, just to show you this, as people have been wondering, yes, right here, as you can see, there is a bit of damage, and this does actually happen. I showed this on my trial deck video about damage on it. But if you, I know you probably can't see this, the tape on each side is actually good. This came from these right here came from one seller, and really it more had to do with the actual trial deck itself and not like anybody tampering it. So I do have, it's actually pretty cool to see all 7 of them, right? They're all pretty together. And I did get, I'm not gonna say case or trial deck displays or whatever, but it is cool seeing all 7 of these actually like lined up in it. So what I did was I took the trial decks out of the case and then I put all 7 of them into one case, and it actually looks really cool to see all 7 of them lined up as they are. It's really nice. That's why I really like collecting trial deck displays. It's one of those ones I wish they had color. That would be really awesome, but um, no, I mean you can imagine it if you don't have the 7. Just imagine this in your mind, like lined up to see all 7 across. That'd actually be really cool. So I am still waiting on some of my product. Main thing is because someone was asking me about this. Trial decks have been delayed, really delayed. I will tell you, one of the sellers I'm buying from is still waiting on their Gen 3. They're waiting. They told me they're waiting. A different one told me they're waiting on gamers. So it's really odd how some of these trial decks are delayed or still coming or whatever is going on. There's this whole thing lately that I've been thinking in my mind about distributors. I don't know what the deal is, but definitely there's something off. But I'll probably talk about that like in a little bit. If the other thing is, am I gonna open these trial decks? I will be opening these trial decks. Am I gonna show you all? Maybe, maybe not. If I hit something, maybe I'll show it to you. If someone comes over, I'll show that to you. But outside, if it's just me and I don't get anything from it, not sure if I'm gonna show that unless a couple of you say you want to see that video, then I will. But I think there's so many people that put up trial deck openings that to me to put mine up as well feels kind of boring. Kind of boring. I'm not really sure yet. I'm not really sure yet, but you get my point. There's like so many of these trial deck openings from the Japanese release when that came out, and now you have the English one that I don't know if I'd be adding anything to, and I just don't want to throw out videos just to throw out videos, but that's just how I feel, unless you want to really see it. Okay, with trial decks, as I said, 3rd generation got delayed. So the hard part is like trying to figure out the real price. We know 3rd generation trial deck is actually really playable. Like they have cards in there that you want to play with. The 0 generation has cards that you want to play with. So the the question that I got, and gamers, right? The question I got was like, how come there's this huge disparity with the third? It's because it's been delayed, right? People haven't gotten all of it. I don't want to say it's like artificial that this thing is being held back, but that's what I started feeling lately. I guess I'll talk about that right now. With Mushoku, Tensei, and even Quints, it's almost like there is like this hidden supply product somewhere, and like maybe at the distributor. I don't know for sure. It's just my gut feeling that we knew Weiss Schwarz for a long time was print to demand. They get the product, you shove it out there, stores have it, and you put it up for sale, and then whether it sells out or sits there on the shelves forever, that is it, and that's what's going to happen to it. With lately, what's been going on, right? Like you have like Quince just appearing out of nowhere, and then someone saying Quince is going to be reprinted for July, even though I haven't seen anything that says, "Hey, people, Quince is going to be reprinted. How many do you want to buy?" Like pre-sales for that, nothing like that. But then you have like this magic resupply of um, Quince that's coming up in the past few weeks, like I guess last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a magical like resupply of Quince, and then you have Mushoku Tensei popping up, and so it's like in my mind, it's like where are these coming from? Distributors? They just had a bunch. They were saving it. It almost reminds me of Flesh and Blood, like what happened with. If you all know the story about Flesh and Blood Monarch first editions, it almost feels like that. Like people holding it back and then just being, oh, we found some more. But you could see the problem with that, right? Like not only does it give you like this false notion that these things were sold out or near selling out, that the price goes up on it, and then bang, someone hits you with this. I don't know, to get more money. Um, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, if you're wondering, because there's a bunch of people that got these Quint resupplies, right? So it's just odd to me, like how these things are now reappearing in the quantity there. My guess on the Quince one, anyways, is the fact that with the reprint coming, if distributors were actually holding onto this, they need to get rid of it because the reprint is coming, or maybe they just won't buy any of the reprint. Which was funny to me because I remember when I first saw the Quintessential Quintuplets PR packs, they were saying something about if you buy Quince 1 or Quince 2 8 packs, that you will get this PR pack. And I'm like, that can't be right because I never heard of a reprint for Quintessential Quintuplets. And I guess we are getting some, is what people are saying. And I just haven't seen it. So with these trial decks, getting back on track, these trial decks, that feels really odd to me that there's this delay on like third generation, like a really, really big generation, important for meta and also popularity, that this got delayed and now it's shooting up the prices of it because there's not enough supply. So I don't know what's going on here with the distributors. I know some people think it's just normal and okay, but to me, I just really hope they're not holding back on purpose. Because if they are, then you can imagine them do it on. Let me go back to this. Let me go back to the schedule. Like, what else can you do it on and really screw people over on? You can definitely do it on Don Machi, Tokyo Avengers. You can do it on Attack on Titan, maybe. But I don't like how that's going, right? Like, where, you know, we just find some magically later on, or we just delay it a little bit to let this marinate and get a little bit more money. It's not how you're really supposed to distribute product. But again, I'm not a distributor, so maybe something else is going on that I don't know about. But I got 3 instances now of Quince, Mushoku Tensei, and now Hololive. That tells me something odd is actually happening, and I don't believe it's just broad product delays or anything now. It's definitely something different. Hololive production booster box case. Do not buy this for 1650. I think most people, I mean, unless you think they're not going to reprint this, but I definitely, in my mind, cannot imagine how this does not get reprinted. Or at the very least, I don't want to buy this for 1650. So there is a limit. I draw a line in the sand, and that line is 1650 for sure. What is 1650 divided by 18? $92. That's what you're looking at. $92 a booster box. So What are booster boxes now? 89.99. Well, actually, that would be $90, $93.48. That's without taxes if you have taxes. So definitely I'm not buying that. Not even close. No way. I'd rather just miss out on the product than buy that thing for $93. So that's my line in the sand. I don't know where your line in the sand is, but I'm not doing that. And it's more like what I've always talked about, cost basis. I am not going to buy something that has a possibility of reprinting at a higher cost. It doesn't matter if it's this set, doesn't matter if it's Quince 2, doesn't matter if it's Sneaker Bunko. And just not going to buy it, because if you get hit with a reprint and this thing drops down to 60, I'd be pretty pissed at myself for doing that, okay? I did an Excel sheet for all of these SPs. I'm not going to bring that up today. The reason for that is that there's no real reason. Again, if you're really looking for these cards, I would go on Facebook and buy it from there. If you do want to buy from TCG Player, use my link. Why not? Yeah, just use my link. Like how that I threw that in there. Um, the reason is because there's not a lot of listings, right? So we got this Noel, which people love for the art reasons. I mean, the signature looks really cool. I mean, check that out. I mean, that's a really nice signature. Anyways, you have a nice signature, but at the same time, $9.99.99 is where it's sold at, but there's no other cards. So with the way it is, demand wise, with the availability of said cards, me showing all these singles really doesn't do much. Like right here we have Coco, right? Um, only sale $8.99 or $7.99, so $800. And right now there's one up here for 900. The other day there was two or three of them on here. Now, as you can see, disappeared. There is only one sale and one card. So something happened to them. More than likely it got sold on a different site, Facebook maybe, eBay maybe, Mercari. I don't know. Take your pick. But realistically, showing these cards at this point, not too much. Again, what I would say is I'd go back, try to take a look at take a look at my video on these SPs and figure out what you want to pay for them. Because right now, these are, for the most part, pretty insane what the prices are going for. I myself you will never see me buy, even though I want this Coco card, I will never buy this card for more than $800, because I would have rather just open up a entire case of Hololive trial decks versus buying one card, right? There, that to me seems insane. If I really, really wanted that card, I would have just bought three of these cases. And you can't tell me that you couldn't buy it, because I've seen on Facebook even before this release that people were actually selling cases of this stuff. So it definitely was available. You could do it. I would not buy a single card for $900, $800 ever from a child deck, because I would just buy the entire case. There you go. So I'm just not doing it, and I'm not going to show this. The one big thing is I feel bad for these. So we have Botan here as 284.98, sold for 299.99. So this person definitely wants to. These people want to get rid of this. And you can start seeing it too. Like when you take a look at Facebook, Reddit, Reddit has it, TCG Player. Depending on the ones, depending on actually even like some of these main cards, these really expensive cards, Coco, Noel, you can see people just trying to sell it because they know it's a really good price for what they opened the trial deck for. Whether they open an entire case or they open one display of six or just open one or two. They know it's a pretty huge number to sell these at, and they're willing to get rid of it. So for me, I say again, make sure you have a price in mind, how much you want to pay for these things, and don't go beyond that. Look for your deal. Go on Facebook. Try to haggle them down. At the very least, you should be getting 10 to 15% off, because on TCG Player, roughly the fees, being like, let's say 11, 12%, that they would be saving selling through Facebook. So right away, you should be knocking at least 10% off what the TCG price is. Last sold at too, by the way. So you need to make sure to do that because you're saving them money by not selling through one of these sites like eBay or TCGPLAYER. Okay. The triple rares. So triple rares are always fun, and what I would say is you're gonna find obviously more sales. In my mind, it's always going to be the climax cards that should be doing pretty well, unless the trial deck card is really great. But I would definitely put more heavy emphasis on the price of a triple rare from a trial deck that is of climax nature. And you can kind of see that, right? Like when you have these character cards, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 4. But when you have the climax cards, it does a little bit better. This Karane card was the big one that we saw all along, and she still is. People have been buying it. Wow, someone got a good deal, $11.99. But some went for $25.55 just yesterday. Two of them. Holy crap! Jeez, that's a little more than I would have ever paid for that. Actually, a lot more. I wouldn't have paid for that at that price. But there you go. Triple rare is pretty good. Depends on which one you get. Rene being the big one, and I guess Nene, and then Rushia. So pretty nice. Again, this is a fun set. I think it's really really cool. And even though I take it as a negative to have the same type of art, if you cannot afford this Coco being in signature form, at the very least you have the exact same card without the signature on it. It's not foil and all that, but I say for this time around, seeing the prices the way they are, that's a nice little consolation. That at the very least you're not missing out because you have the actual same art, right? So even if you are sad that you didn't get this Noel with a signature on it, you got the same card just without a signature. Okay, so not so bad. I wouldn't go nuts. Just don't go nuts. And trial deck cards, as I said before, Miko from Gen Zero, right? Gen Zero doing pretty well. So overall, there was reasons why some of these trial decks were a lot higher. I broke down the analysis on trial deck cards, SP, triple rares, on my buy and invest video. So check that out if you haven't. But some of these gens definitely, these trial deck gens are better than the others, and that would be the reason why. Big thing coming Friday. Friday's the big day. Is booster boxes for Hololive. So here it is. Hololive booster box, May 13th, Friday the 13th. It should be interesting as well if you're a superstitious person. So good luck to you if you are superstitious and you are opening it on May 13th. Here they are. This is going to be pretty nuts when this comes up. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's all I got to say for it. Again, just make sure. Watch the pre-sales if you're looking for any booster box cards. And I can't imagine how much these SSPs are going to be. I mean, I can imagine. I've done the analysis on it, but it's going to be nuts. And you probably will see a ton of opening videos. And that's like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be doing opening videos. I mean, just like a billion of them out there, unless they're going to add something fun to it. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but do let me know. Next thing I want to actually show, I'm going to switch real quick to the JP side. And the reason why I want to show the JP side is this. Decide Traumerei. So this one's been pretty interesting. And the reason why is the booster box. The booster box is one of those ones I was like, Rando is really, really good. Double rare Rando. And, I really love Jessica. So what we got here on Yuyute is sign cards. She went up in price. Good job, Jessica. I love her. I mean, she's great. 12,800 yen. Rando that I was talking about, 24,800. The big thing, why I'm even showing this to you, is the double rares are humongous. Freaking humongous. It's not even a joke. Take a look at this. When's the last time you've seen a double rare at 39.80? Because this one is, right, Eru. Right here, 39.80. Jeez. And then when I show you this, look at all across the board. Let's take a look. 1280, 1280, 1280, 3980, 1480, 1780 on that rando. It's the set pretty nuts. Like it's pretty nuts. I can't imagine what people are thinking when they were opening this. Just because it's like that's a lot. If you could actually sell it at those prices, especially this 3980, that is incredible. I mean, the cards are great. Like this one, this arrow. I mean, it's a nice picture. She's got a nice outfit on. What we got is sorry. If there are 5 cards in your hand, this gains 2,000 power. So this is not until end of the turn. It is all the way 3,000. The more important part of this is when is this placed from stage to the waiting room, you may pay cost. If so, look up the 4 cards from the top of your library and search up to one level 1 or higher card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room. So it's actually really, really nice. A really, really nice card. And the next one here is this other arrow, the 3980 Brainstorm. Right, this will be a nice brainstorm for this set. You also have this. When your character on the stage swaps with the character in memory, you may put a marker from under this in stock. So that's nice as well. But overall, like pretty expensive, nice looking cards. This set, surprisingly, with the triple double rares, freaking crazy expensive. I didn't imagine in my mind to see a 3980 show up on the price list. And again, there are some nice cards, nice pairing. Those two are both level zeros, by the way. You didn't know that, so pretty nice. You can put that in any deck. So, overall, it should be cool. I watched the game. There was a Japanese game that I watched of this, and the guy barely won, but still, it can win. That's the important part. Is this set can win and definitely has a bunch of tools to do so. Oh, we'll see. I wonder if this really is going to come out in English at all. I know this is a Bushiroad type of IP. The anime didn't do too well. This is off the mobile game, which I don't believe has come out to English. I tried looking before. I didn't see it. Maybe it did. Maybe it did come out, and I totally missed it. But it would be weird to have this come out and have nobody really know about these characters, and then have to buy this set. So okay. Next is Mushoku Tensei. As we know, this thing has been pretty dominant in Spring Fest. It's all over the place. Cards are really expensive. SPs are really expensive. It had a mystery restock, like I talked about before, with the distributors. Overall, I was in the camp that it should have got a reprint over all these other ones. Take a look at this Seductive Invitation Heiress, $72.98. Again, I wouldn't pay $70 for it, but apparently a person wanted 2 of them at that price, so pretty expensive. Pretty expensive, unless these are all fake bids, which are buyouts, which I don't think so. I just think for whatever reason people want that card. And again, not knocking your preferences, but people want the card. Triple rares. It's actually amazing. This Eris's Request was more expensive on UUT than this Right Demon Eye, but it flipped. So interesting on how that one worked, right? But people last sale was 2 days ago, $46. Yikes. Yeah, so these are still out there. Double rares on them, still pretty expensive. 1325 for this Rudius, and even then, not a huge supply, as I pointed out before, right? Because 1 card, 3 cards, 1 card, 2 cards. Definitely one of those ones where if people just keep buying them, it's going to be a problem. What is booster boxes? I do not look at booster boxes. So, oh, 83.75. Yikes. Actually, on the outside, but of course, you had to do the whole shipping thing on me. $92. You seriously telling me $92 is the lowest for this booster box and there's no reprint on a new set? You have freaking Quints at it was like in the 70s and they're doing a reprint and like resupply of that stuff where you have this sucker at 92 and you're telling me you're not going to reprint. Like how out of freaking whack is that, especially since people are using this in every like every Spring Fest. That thing is like there a million times. So anyway, sorry. I don't I don't understand some of these decisions. Seriously, like you pumped out Data Live like instantly, but you can't do that with Mushoku Tensei for whatever reason. I don't know why. And then you put that stupid ban list, restriction list. It's those questionable decisions that really tick me off. Especially because you have people buying these in the 90s where it shouldn't be in the 90s. There's no reason for that when you have the ability to actually do a reprint, right? I mean, push back Nazarick and shove Mushoku in its place. That would be better. Quince, like I said, there is some mystery resupply that happened, and now you have a reprint going to happen. I believe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I keep seeing people say July is the reprint for Quintessential Quintuplets. And as I said before, 75.97 for mystery resupply and reprint, where you could have just had Mishoko. The SP prices, SSPs done what I always thought they would. I definitely felt like some of them are way too high. And now that more is coming out with said resupply, and you're gonna get a reprint, there's no way these things hold prices unless people just don't buy them or they don't want to open them, whatever the case, right? Like you even see Yotsuba down here, 370, $371 is what it's going to be for Yotsuba. So it's going to be pretty important to get some of these cards. I don't know now with this resupply and reprint if you want to buy it now or later, but you're definitely going to want some of these double rare pluses, as in some of these equals this one, Unstoppable Feelings Ichika. You're definitely going to want to have that one because that's going to be very important on the meta deck for Quintessential Quintuplets 2, which I'm going to definitely be playing. I'm going to be playing that one for sure. The SPs, though, the one that came from the Quintessential set, definitely gone up a bit. Because they're down. That's like you can see this Miku 174. Now we're back to 195. So as time goes on, more than likely we're not going to see any more of these quintessential sets. Like they're probably going to be gone, not going to be reprinted. And you can see there has been some buying there. So main today actually 3 bought today and 1 bought 2 days ago. So quintessential set, not going to be rebought. You get some trial deck cards in there, and there is going to be a trial deck card that you are going to need to actually use in the actual deck. Next we have Bang Dream Premium Booster Box. This thing is doing exactly what I thought it was. I know people were upset that I said what I said, but it really doesn't matter what anybody gets upset about. I can really tell when someone gets really mad at my videos on what I say, because even though again you can't see the amount of dislikes, I can. And again, that doesn't even bother me. I don't care if you dislike my video. I can tell when I've really pissed somebody off or said something that they didn't want me to say, because they're going to hit dislike, which has been happening on some of these videos that I talk, like this one or Data Bullet Surprise Set. Um, I'll see that because maybe they're a seller. Maybe they just don't like what I say. They maybe don't believe. And again, it's not hurting my feelings. It's just one of those ones where I know if it hits a nerve, it's one of those ones maybe you didn't want me to talk about, which means I should talk about it. So I will, what's it called? Lean into discomfort. That's what my company tells me to do in some of their motivational videos. Lean into discomfort. So I'm going to lean into discomfort. Again, this price makes sense to me. People that were selling it in the 60s, 70s, people that are telling you this is awesome because you get a hit in every pack. That wasn't good. That's not good. Having a set number of things happen is not a good thing, especially if the good thing doesn't even have a signature on it, which is one of the hallmarks of Weiss Schwarz, right? Like having these signatures on it, and you could see the prices reflect there. So $50, people do buy it from time to time. Like this April 28th, I don't know what happened on April 28th, but some people went nuts. You got, what, 19, 20, 22 sales? Oh, even more. 25 seals. Pretty nuts what actually happened there. I don't know if they just thought they could make it buy a chunk. That doesn't even make sense. You would just buy a case, right? If I wanted that, why wouldn't I just buy a case of this thing? Oh, never mind. I remember why. I remember why you don't buy a case of this is because the math doesn't make sense. So a case has 10 of them in there at $50, that'd be 500. At a sealed case, you're looking at 757. So you're paying 50% more for a sealed case where you could just buy this one here for not that much. I wonder if this person that got bought 14 got a sealed case. You would think they would. I'll bet you think they would. Anyways, going back to the cards themselves, BDRs. BDRs, way more expensive than some of these should be, based on what I literally just talked about. Like this Yukina here, 35, I guess $37 with shipping. This thing sold previously for $30 and $75. Nobody is buying it. All of this is just way too expensive. What they have been buying, for the most part, I mean, you could see some sales here. For the most part, people have been buying them under $4 to $5, right? Like you have some here, like this Aya that sold one for $8 today, actually. You have this Ron that sold for $9.23 today. Someone's definitely filling out their, I guess, their last pieces, I would imagine. Same thing with Arisa, $10. So someone didn't want to wait around for this to drop a little bit more, but you could see there is a price that goes with it. I said before it was like $8. If you could sell these for $8, you're sitting pretty. But I think it's going to be under 5 is where they're ultimately going to land unless someone just decides to buy them all, which I would think it'd be pretty insane because you just might as well buy the sealed box. Okay, so that's where I'm saying you should be. This should have never been opened for a profit unless you were just looking to sell a duplicate because you opened for yourself. Surprise set. So we got Data Bullet here. I brought up the double rares. I just wanted to check them out. The double rares have been doing okay. Like if you take a look here, since it's actually been going up. So what's this? Back in February, this one was 673. Nightmare or Queen Karumi Parallel Foil. Now it's $9. So definitely some buying into this. This this Queen card double rare has always been pretty low. I remember right, it was like in the ones for the longest time. Ones, twos, yep. So ones, twos. Now it's 228. 228 is what you're looking at. So there is some actual buying into this. So it's starting to slowly go back up. So I would just check it out. If you wanted any of these data bullet cards, you might want to at least take a look at it and see if this is the right time for you. The surprise set did exactly what I thought it would. It would suck. 1785 is the price that it is at. It continues to drop from where it has been, right? So there was sales in the 30s, 32s. I remember I was pissed off at this. Like when people were selling this with no hope of a date on when it was coming out, and people are buying it in the 30s. You have this drop all the way down into the 70s. Again, this is a short-term price. Eventually, it will go up. But how long on this one? Who knows? Because this is a bad value given that it came out so late, right? Like the deck box, sleeves, if people are even playing it, and then your PR card, which would have all been nice to have at a release, but we didn't get that. The card itself, this PR card, people have it priced at 25, which is just ridiculous. That is way too high for something that you could just buy 1785, get all the stuff, get the PR card, and buy it that way. But definitely insane the prices that those are selling at. The regular version that you can actually get from local game stores is on here as well. So if you want to pair it up with your PR card, pretty cheap. And as you can see, there is some of these places with lots and lots of copies of it, which I will not talk about, but I have my thoughts and I've already said it before. Okay, so last thing, if you haven't seen, last thing, finally, Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins. If you haven't been paying attention, that is coming out. So let me not go here. Not go here. That's Japan. Let me go here. What we got? Upcoming titles. Actually, I want to go here. Where's my upcoming new titles? Join Weiss Schwarz. And what we got from the Bushiroad English Conference Spring 2022. What we had was Fate Grand Order, Attack on Titan, Don Machi, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dream Girl. I can't wait for that one. I cannot wait. But back on point, the Seven Deadly Sins revival of the Commandments. We do not know how this set is going to play with, synergize possibly with set one. Because of that, there has been a bunch of buying. And one of the ones which I've always talked about, Melodious to the Rescue, which was always the card I thought was going to be the most expensive out of the double rares. This thing is low price is 575. So I don't know if you remember this. I didn't bring up my double rare sheet, but that thing was like low of like 230, 250, something like that. It was all the way down there. And can you imagine this thing is 575 now? You could see what happened since then. There was a heck of a lot of buying that happened. This is a pretty strong card. You got the climax combo with full counter there. So nobody really knows like if this is going to pair up nicely, if this is gonna be your finisher for the second set that comes along, or maybe something else is gonna come along. But people have been buying their pieces, right? So you have this Guild Thunder as well. That's been pretty strong. So overall, this thing, what is that? Like a 559. 559? Nope, 549. 549 is what we're looking at for this Guild Thunder. So you can see people have been coming in and buying this to fill out their sets, their decks. So more than likely, I'm gonna have to do the play set math on this. I don't know if this thing is still like down in the 100s, like low hundreds, anyways. Maybe it's near high 100s. There's been a lot of buying since then. So definitely, if you are looking for some of these cards, maybe worth buying, or maybe just open a box if you want to do that for fun. If there's people that like opening stuff, here you go. It's pretty inexpensive, 63.50. 63.50. Definitely, again, lots of buying have happened into it. So the days of cheap Seven Deadly Sins have definitely ended just because of that recent announcement of Seven Deadly Sins coming out. So a trial deck as well, actually doing faring a little better, and actually the supply set uh, gone up a little bit. This thing was pretty terrible, right? Like this is in the 2022, so maybe that was without shipping, but there's a lot of 20s. There's a lot of 20s. Anyways, so Seven Deadly Sins looks a lot better now. Thank you announcement. That's what happens when you say that you're gonna get a next set for a set that wasn't doing all that great. And then trial deck display box is pretty good, $84. So you always attempt to get your Elizabeth, which is this one. 245.99, lightly played. So 255 for a near mint one. And that is it. That is it for the Weiss Schwarz stuff. So again, TCG player survey, month of May. We're in May. Month of May, 3 winners, $15. I always forget to say this. I'm gonna write that in the description. I forgot to say where the survey link was. It's gonna be in the description. Um, shoot. But you have, yeah, I'll give you 3 days. So you have until I wake up on Friday morning to turn that off. I'll write that in the survey. I have to go back and do that now. And then I'll write it in the description for the survey link. Maybe I'll write it in the comments. Dang it. Because I forgot to say that. So it'll be in the comments as well. You have until Friday morning when I wake up to do it. And that is all. So 3 winners, $15, need to be in the US. Again, appreciate all of you that actually use the TCG player link. I know it's some people favored it. If you're allowed to do that, I heard before with like Amazon or something, like you're not supposed to do that. You're like supposed to literally click it. But again, thank you for anybody that uses that link. I really appreciate it. Again, it's really for you. I don't keep the money. It's just something nice that I think it's just fun for me to actually just give something away. I would love to give cards and stuff away. one day, or boxes, but you know, the whole trying to be anonymous thing, so I can't do that. The gift card is the easiest way for me to go about doing this. Kentucky Derby. So, by the way, I went to the Kentucky Derby. So I didn't do any videos over the weekend. Hung out with my sister, wife, cousin, parents. Actually, we were there at the casino playing around. Um, and all day, the 2 days before that, I was like, man, long. If you didn't see the Kentucky Derby, a long shot won, 80 to 1 odds. So if you just put $2 down on it and you bet it to win, get first place, $163.60 is what you would have gotten for actually betting on that horse. It's just insane. And I was sitting there and I was like, a long shot's gonna win this year. I knew Epic Center was gonna be there, but I was like, a long shot, and I didn't bet on him. So that's what happens every time. That's what happens every freaking time. Is you don't bet on that one, and then it wins, and you kick yourself. And then if you got the place of the first four horses right, $321,500. My cousin actually did it before. He actually got all four horses. Unfortunately, it was only like that was like a year where like all the ones that everybody thought was gonna win actually won. So he didn't even get $1,000. Normally, you think you're gonna win like eight, nine, $10,000. This year, 321,000 just because of that horse winning. I don't know why it keeps moving forward like that, but it was crazy. It was a heck of a fun time. So if you haven't done horse racing, maybe you should check it out. It's pretty cheap, $2. That's all you have to do it on. And it's actually pretty cool learning the art of handicapping horses. You can apply that to a lot of things. Neopets actually had that. Neopets actually had like a game called Food Club that you would actually handicap people that ate food. I've always wanted to like make an Excel spreadsheet of it, or at least a program that like you can just punch in all the different foods that they had to eat and then have it handicap. And same way with horses. That's the same idea. Like based on their speed, their length, the track conditions. Like you can handicap a horse and actually be pretty accurate on who wins or not. I mean, you always have crazy things happen, like horses running to each other, jockey not positioned, postured correctly. But a whole lot of fun. So if you haven't checked out horse racing, you should, and you kind of like that idea, it's a lot of fun. Speaking of Neopets, let me just bring this up here. I was talking about Neopets. They have an auction going on, a charity auction. So all my Neopets friends, there is this happening right now. I'm trying to bring up the link, so bear with me for a second. Find this auction. What they're doing is they're taking out some of the artwork from their geez, there's like actual news on this. They're trying to actually I'm just gonna bring this over. Okay. Neopets, the auction collection of rare Neopets art for charity. It's actually pretty crazy that they're not crazy, but it's nice that they're and I'm not gonna go into the charities that they talk about. Don't get upset by the charities depending on who you are. It's really Neopets has some artwork, and if you're interested in said artwork, then buy it. Again, disregard all of this whole talk about the charities that there are. I'm trying to actually bring it up because I want to show these different artworks off. Here it is. Yeah, look at this artwork. View items. Check this out. This is nuts. Dr. Sloth painting. I thought like when I saw yeah, it was 1,254. How many days do you have on this thing? Go back, go back. 5 days. 5 days. So there's some really nice one. You have Queen Fiora. I have to actually make it bigger on every one of them. And a Darrigan Irie. Or actually, it's not even Darrigan. It is Lord Cass. Sorry, my bad. King Altador. So as you can see, it's some pretty nice things for anybody that is into Neopets. Let me zoom in. It's like a part of our history. If you played back in the day, you know a good number of these actual artworks. For me, I didn't see like a cool Scorchio that I would have wanted to bet on. I mean, I remember Sydney saw me scratch cards, blowing my money on that. I don't know how many people there was back in the day with Neopets. There was like this humongous hack, and my like it was one of those. It was something like if you punched in your a person's username. I thought it was like you punch in their username, it actually showed their password, and you can log in. And someone went into my account, got rid of all my 99s, and donated like all the stuff. They donated two of my Rotting Riches scratch cards on the money tree, and I'm like, I was so pissed. You have no idea. I was saving them up to get a Mohawk skull. Just like one day, just scratch them on and attempt to go for a Mohawk skull. But they actually donated that. Pretty mad. I think they tried to do a reset, or every what they tried to do back then, but Neopets had a history of like horrible security, and that was just one of them. And I get it. Back in the day, they were really into security in the early 2000s. Like people are like sites get hacked all the time now, right? Where you lose this people's private information. So still happens today. Neopets is definitely one of those, and people did that. And oh, by the way, there's some raffle here, so you don't actually have to be highest bidder. You have these Queen Fiora. How much is the raffle? Hey, look, I didn't register this to actually do this. I mean, between the two, I'd probably go for Queen Fiora, but the Sydney would be neat to show my love of scratch cards and remembering how I got ripped off of two Rotting Riches scratch cards. So I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. Holy crap, it's been an hour and 6 minutes. I had so much to talk about. Um, but that's it. I mean, just overall, like everything that's happening with Hololive and weird restocks and all of that, just make sure. I've said it over and over again that this economy looks pretty shaky right now. Like you got crazy inflation, you have a threat of recession. Um, you have possibility of food shortages or at least increased food prices. Gas here will probably be eventually $6, I would imagine, unless someone does something to get more gas for us. The economy looks pretty bad, so it's again one of those ones where you can get all hyped up about buying SPs and buying trial deck displays of cute Hololive girls, and even though this looks really really cool, maybe you don't do it. Right? Maybe you don't do it. Maybe you save some money. You store up money, pay off a little bit of debt, buy some food, live life, have fun with people outside in the world. If you have to, go out and print some proxy cards and play with people. I think that would be a better use of money and time. So, but at the same time, I get it. We all love opening product. We all love having shiny cards, and that's not the easiest thing to do. But do keep that in mind with everything happening in the world. Maybe you just take a step back or take it a little bit easy on buying some things, even though that's hard to do with like all of this coming out, especially like this thing, or this one, or this one. Yeah, or maybe not this one. Maybe you skip on this one, but there's so much coming out. Pretty sure you should buy this one and monsters. It's funny to see the hate or love for Disney Pixar. Um, to me, anyways, just everything that's happening with that. But we all like what we like. I go back and when I see things about Disney Pixar, it's not for everybody, right? But at the same time, this Saikano isn't for everybody, and Million Live isn't it for everybody. Like you're never going to have one. Can you name one of these sets that came out that everybody loved? Because even Hololive, right? People are like, I don't get it. I'm not buying it. Hololive VTubers are trash. I didn't say that. Someone else did. Um, right? Like not everybody loved Marvel or Don Machi or Love Live. So it's just you're never going to have a win there, and I don't know why people just don't go. You know what? That's not for me. Glad I could save money versus I hate it, it's going to kill the game, because it really isn't. It's not going to kill the game. Yeah, you might have wanted my dress up darling. Yeah, you might have wanted laid back camp, but you know what? Do you really have money to afford? There's going to be some guy out there that, yeah, I have all the money in the world to afford it, but let's just say 75% of the people cannot buy every one of these sets month to month to month to month. And I would just say, if you don't like Disney Pixar, maybe just be like, great, I can save my money for whatever is coming out next, which I guess would be Kaguya. What's this? What did I just click on? Oh, I clicked on the sets from a long, long time ago. I needed to click on this one, right? We have Quint's movie. Oh man, I cannot wait to see that. Did you see the for anybody that loves Quint's, that wanted not the manga ending? I guess we're all gonna be a little sad based on like the way the movie has come out. The trailer for it, it's not gonna be the original ending that you could have hoped for. So maybe your girl doesn't win. If you know the manga ending, then unfortunately that's probably where the movie's going to lean. And well, again, we have Kaguya coming out. We got Data Live Volume 2 coming out. And then we have Quince, which by the way, I didn't look at Data Live, but knowing that it's coming out, even though our set here got restricted, at what point does it pull a Seven Deadly Sins, right? Like, at what point does this Karumi card make a turnaround? Because it could. It could at some point do that. Where's it at now? $10. $10. So yeah, it's that's only two. So really it's like $12. Let's just say it's really $12. But at some point there's going to be a turnaround. I guess that turnaround is going to happen when we see actually Data Live 2 come out, right? In Japan. We'll see what that deck looks like, what the cards that are revealed, and from there, more than likely, something's going to happen with this card or some of these cards here. So just be on the lookout for that. Remember that. Remember that. Okay, went way too long. If you made it to this point again, hope you enjoyed. I told you it was going to be a long one. I had lots to say, but I had a lot of fun over the weekend. I was dead tired on Sundays, is what I will say. Like, I was just I never take naps, and I was definitely out cold for a couple hours after dinner. So, okay, as always, do the survey, fill out the comments, and I mean comments of this video. Again, you have until Friday. 3 winners, $15. You need to be United States. The link will be down there in the description and the comments. And as always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget.